welcome back to the Weekly Recap. I'm Matt Wacker. U.S. Representative Jason Smith was in Cuba on August 14th to make a sizable book donation to the Crawford County Library District. The gift was part of a Library of Congress program that donates surplus books to local libraries. This donation benefits the communities of Cuba, Steelville, and Bourbon. We spoke with Smith and Library Director Elizabeth Altar.
Thank you very much for facilitating this donation from the Library of Congress. We really appreciate it.
We're happy to. I mean, I like to look at all the different books they have because when we get them from the Library of Congress, it's just their surplus book program, and I mean, you get a phenomenal amount of a variety too.
The Crawford County Library District is super excited to have this donation from the Library of Congress facilitated by Congressman Smith. It's going to be like Christmas in August to be able to open up all these boxes and see these amazing books that have been donated to us. We are thrilled.
You know, one of the most special aspects of the Library of Congress surplus books giving to local rural libraries is the fact that they're from the Library of Congress, which is pretty special. You know, my first time ever to Washington, D.C. was between my junior and senior year in high school. And so it was my first time ever on a plane. And in Crawford County or in Dent County or Phelps County, not a lot of kids can make it to the Library of Congress. But this is a way that they touch it.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a wonderful, wonderful addition to our three libraries.
Sticking with the local library scene, the grand opening of the new Scenic Regional Library in Sullivan took place last weekend. Live music, free food, and children's activities were all a part of the day's festivities. The event concluded with a ribbon cutting with the Sullivan Area Chamber of Commerce. Your Community Health Center in Rolla held a ribbon cutting on August 16th to celebrate the opening of their newly renovated clinic on 18th Street. Leanne Minting spoke with Chief Executive Officer Kelly Miller to find out more about the organization's mission.
We're just really blessed to have all of our services in one location for our community. Now our patients can come and have access to medical, dental, and behavioral health, plus community outreach and resources, all in one location. All patients deserve to feel valued and receive compassionate care, and we feel like this beautiful facility really shows value and that we care about the patient experience from the moment they walk in the door. When we were designing this building and really down to every single detail, I think it really embodies the values of our organization. When you walk in, it's compassionate, it's beautiful, you feel respected as a patient. Our patients are engaged. If they need behavioral health, they can get that right here. All of their needs can be met.
As a primary care provider here at your Community Health Center for the past couple of years, I have great pride in being able to serve the patients of our community. One of the things that it's so important to all of us here as primary care providers and dental providers is that we provide a high quality care, regardless of their ability to pay or their insurance status. All of our staff are involved in being champions for different quality measures. So we want to make sure that people's diabetes, blood pressure, hypertension are all taken care of. It's really important also that we were all in one location because our patients are whole patients. And so their dental care, their mental health, as well as their physical being are all important. So we want to treat the whole patient.
HRSA just released some recent numbers, and 1 in 5 rural residents are served by health centers. 1 in 9 children across the United States are served in health centers. So whether it's in a large city or a small rural community, health centers are all across America, just like your community health center that serve and provide comprehensive services in one location, and they're being heavily utilized by everybody in the community.
We serve everyone in the community. Absolutely, we have a process in place that we are able to serve people who do not have the money to afford the traditional office fees for their primary care appointments. But we also are able to serve people who have Medicaid, Medicare, military insurance, private insurances as well. And we have a sliding scale fee for those who want to pay cash for their appointments. We serve the entire community. We're not just focused in on one demographic of the community. We're here to serve everyone.
We're a Newburgh-based, school-based clinic. We are the SMOMobile that takes care of approximately 20 school districts. We have a great relationship with Pathways. We partner with them in our community. We're always looking for opportunities with the center and the mission and any healthcare provider or community resource.
A small fire broke out in a second-floor laboratory of Missouri S&T's McNutt Hall this past week. The fire started around 8:30 p.m. on August 13th, triggering the sprinkler system, which extinguished most of the fire. The lab was not occupied at the time, and no one was injured. Cause has yet to be determined. Downtown West Plains lost electrical power around 4:30 in the morning on August 14th when a raccoon climbed on top of a transformer. That's right, I get paid to read this stuff. Fuses were blown at the Washington Avenue substation, and crews restored power by rerouting it to other substations. A Rolla woman is being charged with 4 felonies following an attack she allegedly made against 2 men. This incident took place at a residence on State Route O. 28-year-old Tiania Bowman was handcuffed after both men claimed Bowman went to her car to retrieve a knife and came back swinging. A records check reveals a prior arrest for assault in the 3rd degree. Some big changes were announced on August 9th at the West Plains Regional Airport. Here to tell us more is Dylan Lorenzen.
On Thursday, August 9th, representatives from the National Guard flew into West Plains Regional Airport to sign an agreement with the city that will change up the 1138th Military Police Company as well as secure them more parking spaces around their armory. To let us in on some details, here's General David Boyle.
West Plains is a tremendously supportive community of us. It is the only community that we have a National Guard Readiness Center in central South Missouri. We have lots in Southeast and lots in Southwest, but the only one in South Central Missouri. So it's a big deal for us, just like it is for the community and the county. So we're happy with this opportunity. So yes, the 1138th FP Company is divesting, but we're going to take care of all of those soldiers. They have opportunities to stay here in West Plains and to move somewhere else. But there's only about 50 soldiers in that unit that are stationed from the generic area that are working out of West Plains. We are bringing in an engineer unit. That engineer unit has about 112, and it's growing through force design updates to approximately about 125 by the year 2025. So it's a much larger unit, and we feel because it's an engineer unit that we can recruit that full 125 from here as opposed to splitting it like we did with the 1138th between Springfield and West Plains. This opportunity that the city and the county have presented to the National Guard with the parking lots, it may sound so small or trivial external, but to the National Guard, it's a huge deal. We have approximately 60 readiness centers across the state. Many of them do not have a single space for parking or a single space for motor pool. Well, this is not the Army of the 1940s where we don't have our equipment local. We actually have our equipment local for the soldiers to maintain and operate. And so to expand this capacity for motor pools and parking makes a very functional facility. It certainly made our discussions to go back up to the United States Army and the Army Guard Director of the National Guard Bureau about we need a unit to backfill into West Plains. And by the way, we have a functional facility. It made that discussion a lot easier.
The new changes should start being implemented this September and finish the following September. With the new changes being put in place, the estimated economic value of the National Guard should increase from $1.4 to $3 million annually. And with that, back to you, Matt.
That's all for now. If you are still with us, a heads up that a new episode will not be seen next week. So until we meet again, I'm Matt Wacker. Thanks for watching. The Weekly Recap is brought to you by Price Chopper, Cooking from Scratch, the UPS store of Rolla, Bayard Dodge in West Plains, and the Ozarks Medical Center.
Your Better Business Bureau is issuing an alert in this area about a fake employment scam, which is promising victims jobs and end up stealing their money. One victim recently told he was hired. He was sent a bunch of training materials, which consisted of some light reading and a few questions to answer at the end. He was encouraged by the fact that he'd been taken and passed all of the tests with flying colors. Then he was told he had to buy 5 phones and send them to a hub in Hong Kong. That raised a red flag, and when he attempted to contact the business, he was either directed to a voicemail or given a runaround. So you don't fall for this scam in West Plains, Thayer, Lebanon. We want for you to do these tips and follow them. Get all the details and contracts in writing. A legitimate recruiter will provide you with a complete contract for your services, which the cost, what you'll get, who pays for it, and what happens if you don't find a job. Understand that some positions are more likely to be scams. Always be wary of work from home or secret shopper positions or any generic titles such as a caregiver, customer service representative, etc. Now, scammers know this and they're using these otherwise legitimate business titles in their fake ads. If the job posting is for a well-known brand, go ahead and check on the real company's website. Look for different procedures than what should raise your suspicion. For example, watch out for on-the-spot job offers. You may be an excellent candidate for the job, but beware of offers made without even an interview. A real company will want to talk to a candidate before hiring that person. Do not fall for this scam. This is a common trick that's used by scammers. They're also we want for you to be cautious of selling personal information or any kind of prepayment. Sometimes a company may promise you great opportunities or big income as long as you pay for the coaching, the training, the certifications, or even the directories. Now understand that you can always go to bbb.org or you can call your local Better Business Bureau and we'll be able to help you out and offer you free tips. However, if you are ever paying for the promise of a job without actually getting the job, it's probably a scam. Now, the story that con artists are using very widely is they're selling something online and the scammer pretends to be interested in a purchase. Sometimes the scammer will even hire you for a job and then they'll tell you that you won a prize. So be very, very careful when you're looking for any kind of jobs online. Again, you can always go to bbb.org.